On Wednesday, during a congressional hearing with Capitol Police, Inspector General Michael Bolton, Representative Zoe Lofgren, a Democrat of California, had revealed that an officer is under investigation for telling his units to stand down against the pro-Trump crowd, the insurrectionists, the MAGA insurrectionists who broke into the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. So now you all know what happened. You've seen the videos. You've seen police officers standing down, letting these insurrectionists through. And as a result, of course, you had people that broke windows, looted offices, smeared feces all over the halls, threatened to hang the vice president, hang Mike Pence. No, he didn't. They did not say hang my pants. It's hang Mike Pence. And so, yeah.
Mike Pounds.
No, not good. And so those people were apparently, though, not the problem, according to Capitol Police. In fact, you know who was? You know who was the real problem? Antifa. It was Antifa all along. Even though Antifa wasn't there, and neither was BLM, and the fact that they were not rioting, looting, or doing all of the other stuff, the aforementioned stuff that the Trump MAGA insurrectionists were doing. So now here's a report that was published in Politico just recently. The department's Office of Professional Responsibility had found that a radio transmission to, quote, all outside units attention that they should not be looking for people who were pro-Trump in the crowd. According to Lofgren, she added that they were only looking for people who were anti-Trump. Now, this is from a report from Kyle Cheney. Bolton said that he had to review the reports of investigations into the conduct of about 3 dozen officers on January 6th, many of which are still ongoing. Again, that is 3, that is 3 dozen, not 3 dozen, 36 officers that are under investigation for helping the MAGA insurrectionists. Now, to put it in context, the Capitol Police boasts around 2,200 officers in their force. Only a fraction of them were actually on the scene, on duty at that time. Capitol Police sources told TMZ that only about 500 officers were actually on duty at the time of the Capitol riot, and of course they were quickly overrun. There were many calls for backup, which did not come for hours. That decision to not call for reinforcements and allowing Trump supporters to overrun the building led to U.S. Capitol Police Chief Stephen Sund resigning his position, which he should. That, of course, happened all the way back in January. Now, a committee aide declined to disclose additional details from the investigation, but emphasized that Lofgren's panel was recently in receipt of a new document and as well as emails related to the January 6th insurrection, including materials which brought to light these issues the chair asked the Inspector General about today. The committee is continuing to review those documents and emails and intends to review the relevant recorded audio when it is available, according to the report. Now, it wasn't just Sund, as you could see, right? This was all over the Capitol Police. They literally saw the MAGA insurrectionists as less of a threat than BLM. For the record, BLM protests overwhelmingly peaceful. In fact, you know that 90% of the arrests that had happened to BLM protesters, 90% had to get let go, had the charges dismissed, because they didn't actually do anything. As far as the BLM protests themselves, 93% peaceful. But you ask, what about the riots, though? Come on, guys. Jeff, there were riots and there was looting and they burned an Arby's and they were coming for people. Yeah, okay, there was a very small part of the protest movement that was violent overall. And some, of course, were the result of police escalation. Police were literally kidnapping people off the streets and holding them for no reason, and of course had to release them without charges. And so then, of course, you had right-wing infiltrators. You had bad actors in the mix. And you just had people that wanted to go and steal a flat-screen TV amid the chaos. But here, Again, there was no Antifa here, okay? No BLM. They were not storming the Capitol. It was MAGA. It was just MAGA. Pissed off far right-wingers, okay? They are the ones who had invaded the Capitol building to overturn a lawful election. And yet the police let them in, and even when it started getting bad, they refused to call for help for hours. But, of course, if it had been Antifa, if it had been BLM, they never would have been able to get near the door. Nowhere even close. Not that they would be dumb enough to do so, but had they actually been there, my guess is it probably would have been a massacre. No doubt in my mind that Capitol Police would have opened fire with everything that they had the National Guard, had everything there at the second BLM protesters showed up. Of course. But when it comes to the right wing, well, they don't really care. Come on in. You're on our side anyway. Again, they are on the same side. They have the same political beliefs. They're on the same team. And they have been trained to see black people as incredibly dangerous. And right-wing media has amplified the disinformation, which tries to paint BLM as some sort of terror group, which just isn't true. Not true at all. Not to mention, there's a lot of people that go into policing already have racist views to begin with. Those are people, of course, that want to have power over other people. You have far-right infiltration that is a problem, and let me tell you why, right? So if you're somebody that holds racist views, you're not going to protect a segment of the population that you despise. That's just simply not going to happen, especially if you've been armed and told that your life is more important than the people that you're supposed to protect, which, again, they don't protect people. The whole purpose of the police is to protect property. I mean, generally, that is what they were created for. Originally going from slave patrols, which, of course, is to go and reclaim property, to now what they are now, which, of course, along the years, as the years have went by, I should say, they have had more responsibility added on to them. Now they're involved in wellness checks, which they shouldn't be involved in, mental health, domestic disputes. No, their original purpose is to protect property. Maybe we should have them go back to that. And as such, defund them and put the money into other things. Have them go back to the original purpose of protecting property and reclaiming property. It's just a thought. Just a thought. So yeah, this is not a surprise, and I think to anybody. And hopefully, I keep hoping that all this information is going to be a wake-up call to those who, didn't realize that policing in this country is not what we have been told. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.